Alright, so this is a 2004 Power Stroke 6.0 F250. I want to make a video real quick to show you the difference on the oil filters and what they do. A lot of people don't tell you. So, you have to look at the housing. You have to match up your housing to see which one you have. So we have the one with the round spring. So, it's not that one. So you look at this one. So if you read this one, housing, this comes with the filter, the Wix filter I bought. The 57312 is like $31 or something for it. So we look at it, read it. No spring style center post. Do not use this filter in this housing. Then housing style 2. Spring center post. Use this filter in the housing. So you got to make sure you get the right one. Now what a lot of people don't understand, you know, here's your fuel. There's a fuel filter in here. And then you got your oil filter. So the reason I'm making this is because nobody ever explained it, and I think the guy who worked on my truck before, and these fast oil change places don't know their shit either. But, you know, this is pretty level surface. You can see the height and the filters. Now, the problem is down in here, see that little black tab down there? It's spring loaded. I'm not the sharpest, and I'll probably say it wrong. You put the filter on it, it pushes on that spring. Oh, that's right. Okay, so it's like right now, because that spring's up, so oil could actually flow around and go back down into the pan or something, someplace. I'm probably saying it wrong. Thank you for correcting me. So, when you have the right oil filter, that's what happens with a short one. It don't push that spring down and close that drain off. So, when you have the right oil filter, it pushes down on that, therefore blocking the oil from just running out. See, it just springs up and down. It's a real light spring. So the little bit longer one will push down on that, closing the oil from just running back down. And that will help you, I believe, if I'm saying it right, build your high pressure, your high pressure oil for the injectors and everything to fire. You got to get over 500 psi before the truck will fire. With no oil pressure down there, now it's trying to pump it from there up and then to the high pressure oil through the cooler and all that, and trying to build it. With that plunger being pushed down, it closes it. It keeps the oil up top, and then it goes right over, and then it fires up a lot faster and easier on a truck. So that's the difference in those. A lot of things on here. You really should watch all the videos in either Ron's series or PowerStroke.com. He's got a good teardown. Your EGR cooler. Let's see. EGR delete. And then you got your engine oil cooler. And then the stand pipes and the dummy pipes are about the main things that are the big issues to start with. Watch the videos, save yourself money, versus just taking it to the idiot up the block that says he knows how to work on diesels. My guy just kept throwing parts at it. I took it up 1 week and turned around and took it up 2 days later, and then it just ain't a good thing. Come to find out, I think he's just half-assing it, and he don't sit down and explain things. Well, the biggest thing is it takes all this stuff to take the turbo in order to get to the high pressure oil pump, which is down below. While the turbo was off, wow, it was like 8 bolts or something, and that comes out. Then you can check your what is that, the IPC? Oh, he's gone. IPR, ICP or something. And then you can check your bottom of it to check and see if the screen is shot, or if you can just hose it out or with a brake cleaner. But yeah, with that turbo off, it's another 8 bolts or so, and then you're into the high pressure oil pump. And there's the tube, discharge tube. Sorry for walking around, but this is the discharge tube that sits on top of the high pressure oil pump. It'll sit in there like this on top of your high pressure oil pump. But the problem is you need a quick connect or a disconnect or a tool to break it apart here. I just took a pair of long needle nose pliers that were bent on a 45, put it behind it, and used it as a pry bar, and it just popped right off. But now what they don't tell you is there's an O-ring inside. See it about halfway, then you can see the snap ring out here on the end. That O-ring goes bad. Mine, we probably could have reused it and been safe, but I don't want to do this again. This is a Ford only part, and you can't just get the O-ring. You have to buy the whole tube. I think it was 140 bucks roughly up here in Michigan. You know, then that's one of the biggest. It leaks here, and then that you don't keep your PSI oil pressure. PSI is up. That's the big one. So watch Ron, well, I'd say PowerStroke.com. He does a great video on how everything is torn out and why and this and that. So, I mean, I did it. We never worked on diesel, and we took it and watched it. So, hope this helps you. Save your motor, save your truck. Don't go with a cheap oil change.